Hi. All right. Hi, everyone. Hi. How's it going? I'm Ariel K. I'm the founder and CEO of Parachute. We are a home brand that's based in Los Angeles. And I'm also the author of a new book that just came out last week called How to Make a House a Home, which is particularly relevant right now since we're all spending so much time at home. And so today, I'm really excited to be here to just answer some questions about the brand, about our products, about my book, about really anything that's of interest to you guys. Nothing's off limits, so feel free to ask away. And then I am also going to, at the end, show you guys how I fold a fitted sheet because it still remains the biggest mystery of the world. And somehow they end up just in a ball in your closet because they're so frustrating. So I'm going to show you a really easy way to get it done. Does anyone have any questions? I'm happy to give you a little bit of background on me and how I'm holding up in these past few weeks. We're, adjusting to this new life at home, and I've been, trying to figure out how to create normalcy and how to keep my house feeling fresh and new when I'm spending so much time here. That's been a big focus. Oh, I think we've got a question. So I see Mad Hill asking, how did you end up starting Parachute? I started Parachute because I've always been obsessed with home and interior design. My background was in advertising, and I, in 2012 decided that I was ready to, wanted to do something different and more entrepreneurial. I wanted to merge my interest in home and design and building brands, and this was before a lot of direct-to-consumer businesses, so it was really new. And then I, left my job and decided to hit the ground running, and we started with sheets, and now we've evolved into all sorts of products within the home. For those of you that are just joining us, I'm Ariel K. I'm the founder and CEO of Parachute, and I am the author of a new book called How to Make a House a Home. I think, I've got a copy right here. I can show you guys the cover. And it's all about purposeful space and creating purposeful space that is really functional and welcoming and nurturing and beautiful and uniquely you. So it's not about, redesigning everything and starting from scratch. It's, although you can do that, and it's, if you're just moving into a new apartment or a new home, this is a great book and a great resource, but it's also about just using what you have and thinking about the space that you have and the way that your home is laid out and how to enhance that. I'm seeing a question about if I have any pets from Brittany. I do. I have a dog. Her name is Lox, and she's a mini Labradoodle. And there's actually a little bit of a section in my book about pets and living with pets and animals, and they can be so nurturing, but also have a lot of things that, and so thinking about how to design around the home. What's one thing that keeps me up at night? Right now I am definitely been kept up at night, just thinking about the uncertainty of the times, when we're going to be back in the office, when we're going to be able to see our friends and family again, when we're going to be able to open our stores. So, definitely causing some sleepless nights. I am type A. I like to be in control. And so uncertainty and having to, let go of that control is definitely challenging for me. I just moved and working from home now, finding a hard time to organize. Where should I start? That's a great question. And again, I've got a whole chapter about organization in my book, but here's the thing. Organization can be one of the most overwhelming things that there is. I mean, it is just, it can be so daunting. I have a way that I think about organizing that I think is really helpful. First of all, you don't need to go big. You can start by just deciding that you're going to organize a drawer. You don't need to think about organizing the whole house. Start focused. Think about one project and get it done. But the way that I like to think about organizing is, stuff that I use daily or weekly, stuff that I use, every few months, and then things that I'm using once a year. And so I try to organize and have things accessible based on how often I use them. And I use a lot of bins and baskets around my house, and I try to keep things labeled. But really, it's all about keeping the things that you use all the time accessible. Because when you open those drawers and you're like, why is this here? I haven't used this forever. We want to avoid that. So that's my tip. And that's been really helpful for me. And it's helped me just have a place for everything. I think that's such a big part of just feeling organized, is when everything has a place and has a home within your home. Any ideas for green spaces? So I am a huge plant lover, but that doesn't mean that I necessarily have a great green thumb. There are a lot of really easy to maintain and plants for your home. I have a bunch of snake plants around my house. I've got some cactus, things that need to be watered once a month max or once a year. That's been really helpful for me. I also love flowers and using fresh flowers. Obviously, these have a shorter lifespan, but they bring some freshness. They bring a pop of color. I love and you can kind of see I've got some behind me. I also love using dried flowers because they still create that life in your home, but they last a long time, so you don't have to worry about them. My favorite space in my home, right now it is my backyard, because I am just loving being outside and having fresh air. I have a daughter who's 15 months, and we spend a lot of time in the backyard, having picnics, reading books, lounging around, especially because we're spending so much time at home. It's just nice to have a space outside of these walls. I live in a pretty small little bungalow, so there's not a lot of places to be. But usually I would say that my favorite space in the home is my living room, because it's where I host. It's where my friends come and we hang out. And so, I love gathering spaces, and I just think, I'm in my happy zone when I've got people around, and when I can entertain, and just, that's what makes me the happiest. What else do we have? Favorite new kitchen trend. One of the things that I have experienced over the past few weeks is actually I've fallen in love with cooking again. I'm not sure I have a favorite new kitchen trend, but I'm cooking for the first time in years, in a way that is bringing me so much joy, and I'm finding to be so therapeutic and relaxing. And I'm baking, I'm making big elaborate dinners, I'm finding recipes, I'm looking at my cookbooks and earmarking. So it's not really an answer to your question, but that's how I'm spending a lot of time, and I'm really enjoying it. What is my morning routine? So also a great question. I am finding that my routines are keeping me feeling like normal and balanced, and they're helping me really stay grounded. So I like to wake up and, I spend some time with my daughter. She gets up really early, around 6:30. So we hang out, we play, we go on a walk usually in the morning. And then I like to make sure that at some point before I start my workday, I am moving my body. So that could be just stretching, it could be a yoga class, it could be some sort of streaming workout. But for me, that helps me get focused for the day. It helps me just get really in my body, and I'm finding that it has to happen in the morning, otherwise it unlikely happens later. I like to have tea. I like to drink hot water with lemon. Small routines. I'm trying to start my day with things that are for me before I get online and check emails, because I feel like we're so much on I'm so much on my computer right now and on my phone, and so I'm trying to give myself a minute to do something for me, to be present for my family before diving in. AirPod fell out. Let's see. What else do we got here? Someone asked what we're talking about. For those of you that are just joining, my name is Ariel. I am the founder and CEO of Parachute. Mason just asked what the best sheets are for warm weather. And that's a great question, because at least in Los Angeles, I don't know about where all of you are, it is really hot today and it feels like summer is starting. So I love percale sheets. and linen sheets in the summer. And also we introduced a fabric called brushed cotton recently, which is similar to a percale, but just is the softest fabric that you've ever felt. It's amazing. And I typically use percale or linen during the summer because they do naturally feel cooler to the touch, and linen is really breathable. So I often pull off my duvet cover. I use one of our quilts instead of having a heavier duvet cover. They are absolutely pet friendly. I have a dog. She sleeps in our bed every night. And yes, so I just saw that someone asked how to fold a fitted sheet. And so maybe it's that time. Maybe should we dive into folding a fitted sheet? I'm gonna have to rearrange some things so that you guys can see. So hold on. I'm just going to set this camera on a box. Really having to get creative with the setups. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can make this work. Hopefully you guys can see. So, all right, speaking of kitchen things, I'm gonna use a tactic that we see in lots of cooking shows and show you, got a few sheets here, I'm gonna show you different steps, but fitted sheets are quite big, so I'm gonna try to make this easy for all of us. So I have a fitted sheet here. The first step is to fold your bottom corners into your top corners. So that's the big trick with fitted sheets. You've got these elastic edges, and they're really hard to manage and navigate, and that's why it's so tricky. So I've already folded the bottom sheets the bottom corners into the top corners, and now I'm holding it like this, and I'm going to do the next step, which is to fold this corner into that corner. It could be this into that, either way, but you're going to do one more corner into corner. So you'll see I just tuck it in, and it sort of forms this rectangle shape. So I have another one here. I'm gonna show you what that looks like because it's just, again, a little bit easier. So it's got this like kind of arc shape, corner into corner. You've got 3 corners in one. So here I've got my 3 corners in one. You can see 3 corners in one, and then it's really just a simple fold. So I'm gonna fold into thirds lengthwise, and I'm gonna fold in on either side. And so what that's gonna do is give you these really nice edges, you can see, and that's gonna help with your organization and keeping things looking neat in the closet. So here we've got our corners, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna fold into thirds again, like so, and like so. And then there you go. You know, it's not gonna be as beautiful as your regular flat sheet, but it's pretty great. It's small, it's compact, can stack easily. Voila, folding a fitted sheet. I hope that was helpful. It's a great skill to have, and you can just stack them, put them in. It's a good size. It's not going to take up too much space in the closet. Your grandma irons your sheets. There's nothing that feels better than freshly ironed sheets. So that's how you fold a fitted sheet. I'm Ariel K. I'm the founder and CEO of Parachute. Feel free to follow along on what I'm up to. My Instagram is @ArielK, and would love to chat with you guys there. Please keep in touch, and you can follow what's going on with Parachute at Parachute Home. And I've got my book, which I would love for you to check out and read. It's a really helpful book, especially considering that we're just spending so much time at home. Beautiful illustrations. I'm very proud of it. Came out last Tuesday, so pretty big deal for me over here. And it's nice to be able to share and celebrate a bit of that with you guys. So thanks so much for following along. Unless there's any final last minute questions, I'm going to sign off and say have a great weekend. So take care. Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining.